Great day, everybody, and welcome wherever you are right now. We appreciate you so much, and we thank you for being a part of this time with us. I want to invite you and take a moment just to remind you that we are here to share with you in this today. This is basically our money chat that we do, and I am Dr. Marian, sister of Fua of Exponential Existence, and we are here to share with you some ideas. Now, you might be watching me on one of the many platforms, but I want to welcome everybody who's coming into the webinar right now. As you are coming in, do me a favor. Let's do a couple of housekeepings. Go grab your water now. Go grab your water now. Go grab your notebook, your pad, your pencil, and let's begin to transform this time that we have together, about 45 minutes, in which we can share some ideas, share some insight on how we can reach our goals of being a prosperity pathfinder. I take that very seriously, and this series is coming as a result of me talking about and interacting and doing my workshops based upon my book called The Money Plan. Is a step-by-step practical guide that allows you to dive deeper into your finances and build a relationship that is rewarding with your finances. The premise is that money is available. Money likes to circulate and grow. Money is a tool. Money is your servant. And it's time for you to get ready to activate that knowing about money. Because so many of us, as you know, from humble beginnings, we start out and we have all these ways and we are told many different things. We're told how to make money. We're told how we can't make money. We're given the opportunity to avoid. We're given the opportunity that distracts us from being able to live our best lives. But today we want to really embark on a journey that allows us to put our money in the black. When we talk about our money in the black in the world of finances, in the world of business, that means that everything is balancing out. That means that there's no negative relationship between your income and your assets and the bills that you're paying out and the investments that you have. Thank you for being here. So that's what we're going to be talking about, putting our money in the black. And I'm using the concept of Black Friday because it's upon us. Black Friday is coming up upon us. And a lot of people are going to begin to go and plan and spend. And then Cyber Monday happens right after that. So I'm going to encourage you to give this a listen, put in some effort, write it down, think about it, not judge yourself, but just learn to grow. Is that all right with everybody? So welcome again, everyone here. I want to talk to you about this. I want to talk to you about this ideal of Black Friday. If you know what I'm talking about when I say Black Friday, go ahead and type it in whatever channel you're watching me on. Let me know that you're watching it. And type in, I know, or yes, the word yes, or I know, let me know you're here with me and that you know what Black Friday is. All right. Yes, thank you for being here. All right, thank you. Yes. Yes. All right. So Black Friday is this day that in America, and now it's all over the world now, right? Because even when I was in Europe for the holidays, I saw people having Black Friday sales. So I started thinking about what is it about Black Friday that makes it so awesome, right? Now we know everything looks better in black. We know the power of that, right? The group of people that there is. But I want to talk about it from a perspective economically. Black Friday is designed to give stores at the last quarter of the year a financial boost to clear out old merchandise and to be able to give themselves a financial boost. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if the corporations can do that, why aren't we doing that with ourselves? Why aren't we giving ourselves a financial boost the last quarter of the year, right before the year ends? But instead, we become hyper consumers. We begin to become consumers of goods and services at a rate based upon the holiday feel, the time of the season. If you've heard those before, I know, just put a one in the comments. I'm just talking to Marian. I'm not talking to you. It's okay, right? But we're going to talk about how it's become a global phenomenon and a significant event for you to become a hyper consumer, a super shopper, right? A retailer that is supposedly accessing incredible deals and going on stupendous shopping sprees. But I want to shift your focus from that. I want to take it away and I want you to begin to shop your finances. I want you to begin to look and assess your assets. I want you to begin to take the concept of Black Friday and apply it to your assets. What's the biggest deal that you can give yourself to build up your finances? I know, it may be shocking to you for some of you because I'm asking you to do things and I'm asking you to consider something because many of us are very uncomfortable, and that is our finances. So I'm going to slow down a little bit and I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and how my financial journey came and why I feel that I can really share some insight with you on this and why I wrote the book, The Money Plan. So I'm going to tell you that growing up, I was very comfortable in my family. I had my parents giving me some financial support, moral support, all those good things. Then I had godparents. Back then, you got two sets of godparents. Your father picked a set and your mother picked a set. Then I had my aunties and uncles. My mother had 10 brothers and sisters, right? 10 brothers and sisters. And then my father had about 8 that were still able to kind of deal with me. And then I had my big sisters and my big brothers. So I was pretty secure in getting my needs met. If one didn't, I could just kind of ease over and sometimes I can get a double dip. But one of the things that was a downfall of all that is that everybody saw me as the baby. So they were busy taking care of me, but they weren't busy educating me on how to navigate and manage and create my own wealth. So when I became older and it was time for me to get married, and I got married and I'm having babies and I'm with my husband and he's doing well financially and I'm doing well in the performing arts and he's doing well in the sports industry, I had no idea how to manage our money. Like you, I became a hyper consumer because, hey, I got all this money. I can go spend. I can spend. I had no idea what credit was. I had no idea what layaway was. I just was shopping and buying, going, spending. And as a result of that, I put us in a very compromising situation where people were coming saying, hey, we want the car back because you're not paying the car. Hey, you owe us money because, you took this on terms and you're supposed to pay us back. I'm thinking, no, but I gave you money. They're like, no. That was, no. You got to keep doing it. So I had to go to my parents and, correct some stuff and, my husband gave me a very stern conversation. And it made me stop and pause and say, you have a business, you have children, you're married, you have good income, you're very comfortable. However, you have no clue about money. So I began to do the research. I began to tap into some other resources and come about it. And you'll learn more about that if you bought the book or if you intend on purchasing the book, which I do encourage you to do. Right. So then I learned that being a hyper consumer has a cost. How many of us are guilty of that, right? Every holiday, every birthday, we're trying to buy something, we're trying to stockpile. And then I also got a negative thing after that because I started stockpiling things, right? Now I'm going to stockpile because I don't want to be in that situation again. So my basement became like a secondary warehouse store where I was buying multiple things because they were on sale. Right. So if they said there was a towel set on sale, you could get 4 sets of towels for $25, where I'm going to buy 12 sets because I want to make sure that I never run out, that we don't have the money. That's it. That I'm guilty. I'm telling you, that was me too. So I had to learn how to revamp this energy, turn it into some more ways. So over time and over years, I began to really dive deep. I began to put myself in environments. My career took me into environments, into communications with people who were really handling big money. And they taught me how to handle money, right? They taught me how to take a different perspective from not just a consumer, because we're all consumers. Even the wealthiest of the wealthiest are consumers, because we all have to consume something, right? You're not an island in the middle of the ocean. Even then, you're consuming something. So once I learned that, I started applying it to my life, and then I started rebuilding myself up. And then right after that, something else happened. Guess what, y'all? I had a very public, very ugly divorce. And it led to a bankruptcy. It led to a foreclosure after me surrendering. Right? I had to surrender because I was struggling along. I was determined to keep that house. I was determined to keep every car. I was determined to keep everything that it was. And there was 2 incomes, very significant incomes coming in. And then after that, I relearned some more. And I had to actually apply what I had been told by the others who were doing well financially. And when I applied that, that's how the money plan was born. The money plan is a way in which you allocate your resources. You take an assessment of all the assets. And for those of you that think you don't have assets, I thought the same way. I just lost everything. What do I have? But I had a 401k. I had a pension plan. I had a life insurance plan. I had my vehicles. I had money in the bank. Those are all assets. My payroll check is an asset. So I began to learn how to allocate that in such a way and shift my behaviors and my understanding of money. How many of y'all understand what I'm saying today? Because most of us don't believe we have assets, but we really do. That's why they can have Black Friday. So now it's time for you to do a Black Friday. So I want you to create a clear cash and allocation plan. Instead of merely just setting up a budget, I want you to really start looking at what are your assets. And that is a gift that I give you when you join my programs, right? In the Prosperity Pathfinders, or if you're in the Activated Life Alchemy Academy, or if you're in Healing Her, or you attend any of my retreats, that's always something that I give you, right? I give you that because I want you to understand you are not devalued. You're very much priceless, and you have a lot of assets and a lot to offer that can change your experience with your finances. So you can have financial assurances, okay, permanently, and develop a legacy for the same. Now, if you want that for your family, keep listening, type a 1 and tag 4 people that you know should hear this conversation. Go ahead and share it out to 4 people that you know should hear this conversation today. Don't just hold it all to yourself, because if your spouse is available, if your partner is available, if your children are available, bring them in on the conversation and let everyone hear it. Let everyone build a discussion around this conversation. So the first thing you're going to do, if you want to flip and turn your finances Black, is I want you to begin to create a clear plan about your assets and your money. That includes credit. That includes, like I said before, your insurances, your retirement plans. All of that goes into Black. Life insurance is included. So this allocation plan is going to support you in identifying and keeping the assets and keeping track of it and how you can leverage it. Right? We hear this all the time. Oh, I have a life insurance policy. I'm my own bank. Oh, I have a life insurance policy and I use the life insurance policy to pay for it. Or I use that to go buy a house. Or I use that because there are clauses when you get certain types of insurances that allow you to borrow against that policy and then you pay it back to yourself. It's a heck of a lot lower interest rate and it's much better for you. And we're going to have somebody that comes into our groups. Our next money chat will be someone talking about that. So once you get this allocation plan or this gap analysis, you're going to begin to understand your net worth. What is your net worth? That's how much you're valuable, how valuable you are. How valuable you are, not just to your employer, not just to your customers, but how valuable you are to yourself. How much can you leverage? That's also one of our life structures, right? Being able to effectively leverage your skills, your talents, your abilities, your resources, and your knowings in such a way that it gives you financial assurances. This is an example of something that's building up your abilities, your skills, your talents, your knowledge. Your net worth will allow you to assess what are your true assets that you have, minus the debts, both good and not so good. This critical measure of your financial health is essential if you really want to begin to go to the next level. By having cash and an allocation plan in place, it allows you, listen to me, it allows you to know before you even know what your worth is. So when you get ready to go buy something, you know, hey, you know what? Right now, my net worth is about only 10% of where I need it to be. So I need to maybe reevaluate. I need to maybe invest in some more ways, looking at how I can lower my liabilities and work toward increasing this net worth. And that means you have to begin to become honest with yourself. You must become honest with yourself about your finances. You must become honest with yourself about the habits and the beliefs that you hold within you. Because if you believe that you can never have financial assurances, if you believe that money is never going to be enough for you, if you believe that you always are going to have bad credit, if you believe you're just going to have just enough and that you have to live paycheck to paycheck, I've been there. Been there, paycheck to paycheck. Soon as you get your check and it hit the bank, it's gone by the time you go to lunch. Been there, done that. So you got to begin to reflect on whether you truly need to become a consumer or do you need to become an investor in you? Do you need to consume some things or do you need to invest? How do you need to leverage that credit card that you have? Leverage that line of credit. Leverage the equity in your house, the equity that's in your car. How to create good debt. Good debt means that you have these lines of credit, you have this cash in the bank, and you're able to leverage it to help you get more of the things you want and less of the problems. You're looking for investment opportunities to invest, to get dividends that are keep coming in on a weekly, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, that you can utilize to build your life. Right. It doesn't feel good to live paycheck to paycheck. It does not feel good to live paycheck to paycheck. It doesn't. So that's why I said we have to pause right here and be honest. We have to be honest with our relationship with money. We have to be honest about whether or not we believe that we are bad at math, not because we're bad at math, but because we heard so many times that there wasn't enough. That we've heard so many times that we can't afford that. That we've heard so many times, I might as well spend it. I can't take it with me. Right? Might as well. Oh, well. You're going to die with bills. You're going to die with debt. Debt is always, yes, we will always have a form of debt, but that debt doesn't have to be debilitating. Type that in the room. We may always have debt, but debt does not have to be debilitating. We may always have debt, but debt does not have to be debilitating. Having debt does not have to be debilitating. This is what I'm saying to you when I say to invest in the things that are going to add to your net worth, that are going to get you closer to where you want to be, that's going to allow you to understand. And as I said, a lot of this is just an opening conversation. We will have continuous money chats with myself and other guests that will break down these concepts even more. But Black Friday is coming up, and I don't want you to run out, because do you really need another television? Do you really need another pizza maker? Do you really need all those blankets? Those toys, are they really required? Are those items really required? This is about being honest with yourself, understanding your spending habits, understanding why you spend the way you spend. Yeah, I want practical good debt, not over. Exactly. Because, millionaires have debt. They have these multi-million dollar buildings and assets. They're in debt. They still have mortgages on a lot of these things. So I just saw something recently that said Adele bought Sylvester Stallone's previous home that was $58 million. Do you think that house is paid for in cash? Can you imagine if it is paid for in cash? Can you imagine what she's paying in annual real estate taxes and maintenance and upkeep and service? So that's a good debt, right? Because real estate is always a good deal. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, that's it, baby. You don't need it. Ask yourself, is it a requirement? Or is it just something that's passing by? Trust me, I have to fight myself as well, right? So this self-awareness that dwells up is also one of our life structures we talk about, the emotional, the mental. If you are self-aware that this is the foundation of your financial decision-making, it's the way in which you take the position of being the master of your finances. Money is a tool, but if you're not aware of how to use that tool, it will be used against you. Money is a servant. If you do not effectively and clearly instruct and have a plan or a job description for your servant, it's going to do what it wants to do. And if it's lazy, it's going to disappear and it's going to go be somewhere else with someone else and hang out with his friends, because money likes to circulate and grow, and it likes to be with his friends and family. So if you got money and you're around people who don't, you're going to find yourself without. Because money wants to be around money. Money wants to be around money. Money likes to say, hey, I'm $100. I want to go over here and hang out with the other $100, and we become $200, and $200 becomes $400. $400 becomes $500. But you can't do that if you're afraid to even engage in conversation and you're focused on the exterior and investing in things that depreciate versus appreciate. Yeah. A temporary fix. Exactly. Exactly. So if you're going to spend time and be honest with yourself, not just in this moment of this brief time we're together, but I want you to really write down, I'm going to take a chance, and I want you to book your time with me so we can develop and I can get you what you need to look at your own allocation plan, your own net worth plan, and begin to figure it out. Because you are going to do some things that are your wants, but the wants are going to be aligned with your goals. Wants and desires are not bad. Because if you listen to the innate information within you, your true designated information that is inside of you, that is part of your life plan, your alchemy code, your secret sauce, for you, you'll be able to embrace your wants and your needs. Because we need water to survive, but I might want a glass of wine every now and then, and that's okay. But do I have to spend $300 on a bottle of wine or champagne or Prosecco? No. I'm going to be honest. I had some $3 wine. I was like, okay. $3 Chuck was pretty good back in the day. And if I'm serving 1,000 people, maybe I do $13 L'America champagne instead of Cristal. Do you understand? It's a desire and a want. And that's okay to give into those, but not to the point where it's depleting the power of you. So we've talked about having a clear understanding and an awareness of your finances, of your assets, understanding how to develop an allocation plan, do a gap analysis to see what kind of assets you actually have that you can leverage to improve and create some good debt and remove some of that not so good debt. We're understanding what a net worth is, right? How to be honest with ourselves and build a relationship with money that honors what money is for and what our role is in that relationship. That role is not for us to feel defeated and afraid and consumed in competition with other people to prove to them that we're okay financially. It is to acquire assets that appreciate, that add to our net worth and allows us to leverage it. Yeah. Be aware of this consumerism that we're being push. I tell people, if you just have to go shopping for Black Friday, then spend all of October selling everything you bought last Black Friday. And then use that money to buy what you want this Black Friday. So if you want a new bedroom set, or you want a new car, or you want, not a new car, a new TV, or you want a new computer, sell the old computer, get some money, sell the old TV, get some money, sell the old jacket, shoes, coat, sell that, get the money, figure out what you have left, and then invest that in that. That way you're not getting into more debt. So I said to put these books I want to do. Oh, that's it. You just spoke to what I was just sharing about. Exactly. Because what are you going to keep building up clutter for? Clutter is not going to convert into assets unless it's something that appreciates. TVs don't appreciate. Cars don't appreciate. Clothes don't appreciate. Jewelry can appreciate if it's the right type of jewelry. Yes, 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 yes. But now we know differently. It's always your choice. It's always your choice. It's always your choice. No one can do it. So I want to give you now some suggestions that allow you. I'm kind of hinting at it a little bit. Like I said, we're not going to be here very long, but I just want to start the conversation and get you thinking and remind you to sign up to have your private time with me. This is a free, no cost outside of your time and your presence, with my time and presence, to sit down and work through. I'm going to send you an email. It's going to have everything you need to get prepared, for you to organize your documents. And let me tell you, this is a confidential experience. A confidential experience. It's not about, oh, I don't have anything. It's about, let's have the conversation. And every time I do this, people are surprised because we forget about things that give us a higher net worth. Because we're looking just at the moment. We're not looking at the totality because we're in the middle of it. There's equity in things that you can liquidate, and I'll talk more about that later, right? We'll talk more about that later. Okay? We'll talk more about that later. But again, having this clear allocation plan, understanding your net worth, being honest about your relationship with money. What is it in your mind that has you having these subconscious spending habits? Are you rebellious when you spend? Are you a hoarder with your money? Are you the one that has to do all the high expensive, high ticket items, regardless if it's going to appreciate or not? Right? All of these are factors we got to think about and have a clear self-awareness of what it is we desire for ourselves. To release it. Yeah. To release the power that this self-sabotaging moments are giving us. Yeah. So if you complete your opportunity, if you build yourself in such a way that allows you to really understand and be deliberate about your spending and be focused on asset building, not just collecting, but asset building, that's what's going to make the difference in your life. Be deliberate and focus on asset building. Stop the overspending. As I said, if you really, really, really want something during this Black Friday and Cyber Monday, then you need to get busy selling some things that you already have. You have to make room for it. Make room for it. Like you would when you get a new lover, right? A new husband, new spouse, new wife. You got to make room for them. When you guys move in a house, you both take a drawer, right? You both have a spot for your toothbrush. You make room for it. This is the same way we have to be with our money. The same way we have to be with our spending, because spending means you don't believe that it can be rejuvenated. Spend. We don't spend money. We allocate. We plan. We grow. We circulate. Okay? So be honest with yourself. Other things you can do with that money you want to spend, during the Black Friday. How about investing in your children? How about investing in your children? Creating a investment account for your children with as little as $500. Some places even $100 will start you an investment account. Even if it's just an EFT, right? Even if it's just the EFT account, it will allow you to begin to change some habits. Consider buying stock in the companies. Other ways, you can consider buying stock in the very companies and brands that you were planning to purchase. So that maybe by next Black Friday, or maybe by the next quarter or 2 quarters, you have gotten the dividends for yourself, and now you can use that money. But your solid money is there. Did you know you can invest in MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Walmart, Bank of America? You can invest in those. Well, or maybe you want to pay into a savings account. That's a difficult challenge for a lot of us, is having a savings account. But if you invest in a savings account, as you get to a certain point, you can putting into money marketing accounts that are really going to make you make some money. Maybe you start an IRA for yourself or for your children. Huh? All right. It's a strategic tool that's going to help you support you in this financial situation. Things like stash, and again, I'm not necessarily endorsing anything. You guys know that I've already put in the group an opportunity for you to join stash, and you can get some free cash to come in. I put a kind of little money away for the first 10 people that came and took advantage of that. They got their money and they've invested, right? Jumpstart your savings account. Invest into the EFTs, the exchange traded funds. Invest into them. They're low opportunities. Before you make a purchase, really think about how can I leverage this? Is this the best way to leverage my credit, my cash, my savings? Is it the best way to create good debt? Good debt, again, is meaning that is used to invest in assets and opportunities that can bring and potentially generate income. Like when you get your mortgage, right? You're paying your mortgage, you're going to have equity in the house right away. You can use that equity to go and invest in other things and to pay for college and to buy businesses and to pay for attorneys to create trust, irrevocable trusts. Somebody's going to talk about that later. Make sure that what you're purchasing, y'all, make sure that what you're spending your time on is allowing you to gain appreciating assets and investments that can pay you. They changed the Negro College Fund thing to say, get your dividends, right? I don't really care for that one, but I get it. If you're going to invest in me, then I'm going to give you a dividend by coming back into society and being the doctor, being the lawyer, being the teacher, being the support person that you desire that keeps our society going. Dividends are important. You can't get a dividend if you're always spending. But if you're allocating, if you're planning, if you are aware of what you need, then that's when you can begin to see your money in the black. Yeah? Put your money in the black. Track yourself. See what you're doing for the next 7 days. Watch and see what you're doing for the next 7 days. Pull out your debit card receipts. If you put $50 in your glove compartment and that's what you use to spend, ask for a receipt every time you spend just a quarter. If you spend it in a vending machine, write it down. Prioritize what is required over just, oh, this is an enticing offer. It looks pretty. It sounds good. I guess I'll need that. How many times will you utilize it? Is it in alignment where you really want to be? See if there's a better opportunity, a better product, a better service that can best support you. So I'm going to drop my link where you need to go in order to schedule your time with me. Thank you for all of you that have been here, for joining me here on today for this brief conversation. As I said, we won't be here long because I don't want to prolong the process. I want us to be able to really think about how can we put our money in the black? How can we put our money in the black? That's what's essential. It's scrolling at the bottom. It's simply Linktree/spiritual soul spa. You want to click on where it says 20-minute chat, and we're going to get that time set up. We're going to talk a little bit more about it, and we're going to have a chance for you to schedule a time with me. We're going to take a whole hour, but I need that 20 minutes to make sure that you're ready so you can get everything you need. We get your emails. We send you the information. You gather all the information. You come back and you spend an hour with myself and with someone else who's going to support you in that area that we see you need the most support in. Whether it's your credit, whether it's understanding baking, whether it's understanding how to best maximize your current assets, but all of that will be available to you right now. All right. Do we have any other questions? Somebody just asked me about that, and I just told you, scrolling at the bottom, just go to Linktree/spiritual soul spa, click on the 20-minute chat, and you will have an opportunity to book some time with me to get that done. Thank you all for being here. Yes, that's it. Thank you for remembering that. Hey, that's it. Yes, yes, yes. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you all for being here. And again, if you want to share this out as much as you can, it will be up for the next 30 days. So go ahead and tag people, bring them into the group. Listen, don't hold things to yourself. If this was beneficial to you, if you can see how this could be beneficial to you, and why wouldn't it be beneficial to others that you care about? Don't just hold it to yourself. Don't be, this is the stigma. We have to stop being afraid to talk about money. And let me tell you this last story. This is what the most mind-blowing opportunity that I had. I had an opportunity of going to an event with someone who was a friend of mine, much, much, much higher financially secured person. They took me with them to an event. And when I got to the event, I was like, whoa. But when we were sitting down eating lunch, the conversations at the table were about failed business deals, losing money, and making money. See, people who want money, that's why I said money, money is not to be feared. Financial talks are not to be feared. Yes. You need to know that these conversations are not secret. That's the problem. We grew up with these conversations. Don't talk about your money, politics, and religion. But that's what makes you you. Your spiritual, your religious rituals are based upon your belief. And if your belief is telling you not to have financial assurances, or you feel guilty for having financial assurances, you need to address that. If you don't understand that the way that they set the interest rates, the way that they develop the laws for stocks and businesses is done through the political process and the way banks are able to handle your money, why do you think the FDIC only secures $250,000 of your money in any bank account? Because someone in a political position was able to get that put into law. So everything is, as I told you earlier, everything is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. You can't just focus on one thing and think it's going to get better, but you still believe a certain way. You still behave a certain way. You still associate a certain way. I had to learn this too. I realized, as I said, growing up, I was around comfort, but I was never taught how to make my own comfort. So when I had the control of it, I didn't handle it properly. And as a result of that, I suffered financially, socially. I suffered. Now that I know better, I share with you because it's not a secret. The secret is that there is no secret. We've heard that before. So go ahead and book your 20-minute consultation with me. After you book that 20-minute consultation, we're going to begin to have our 1-hour session. Again, it is no cost to you. However, if you want to jump right into the money plan process, that is available to you. We'll talk about that in private. But it's not an obligation. The key thing I want you to do is put your money in the black. We're in the last quarter. Let's make it happen. What I'm giving you is what I charge people in other situations. They've paid as much as $997 for this 1-hour session. Because first of all, I talk to you, I give you information, you send me back information, I analyze it, and then we get with our 1-hour session, I pull in somebody else who can also help you boost your way. Now, if you're afraid of $1,000 value that's costing you your time and your presence and a little efforts and preparation, then that's not for you. But I know it is. I know that it is. It seems a little scary. You might be like, I don't want her to know that listen, I'm going to forget it anyway. Somebody said, remember I told you? I said, I really don't. Let me go back in your file, right? Because it's not my business to know your business. It's my business to know my business. And my business is a business of me, and your business is a business of you. Absolutely. Yes, it's on YouTube as well. Go ahead and find it on YouTube over at Marion Afua on YouTube. Yep. Thank you so much again for being here. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here. It'll be here for 30 days. Tag as many people as you can for this. It's time for us to stop gatekeeping, stop being ashamed. Everybody in the boat. If everybody's in the boat and it's sinking, who should know? We all need to start screaming together and try to create a new way and stay afloat, right? That's what we want to do. We want to build a stronger, better boat. It's time for us to get busy. Thanks for being here. This has been the Prosperity Pathfinders Money Chat. I am Dr. Marion Sister Ford, author of The Money Plan, the practical guide to your exponential existence through your finances. Talk to y'all again soon. Take care.